Welcome back to The Blend. For some who struggle to lose weight, it can feel like a never-ending battle. Well, the professionals at Southern Nevada Bariatrics help get to the bottom of your issue behind your weight and create solutions to address them.
That's right. And here with more on their incredible results is Dr. Mustafa Ahmed. It's great having you, my friend.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
So what are you up to over at Southern Nevada Bariatrics?
Well, things are going really well. The practice is growing phenomenally. We're offering both surgical and non-surgical weight loss. And based on what the patients need is how we take care of them. Some patients need it non-surgical and some surgical. So things are going really well. And the practice is growing phenomenally.
That's terrific. You were telling me the practice is growing so much. You're moving offices, you're adding services.
Yes, exactly. So in addition to the surgical, which is the gastric bypass and the sleeve gastrectomy, in addition to that, we offer the non-surgical weight loss, which is the medical weight loss. And some patients want that because their BMI is not high enough. Others want hormonal therapy because they have difficulty with fatigue and other issues that they've had because of their hormonal status. In addition to that, we're adding on other services like balloons, which we'll talk about in the future. And then also other things like cosmetic surgery, which we'll talk about.
I do want to point out really quickly, when you said hormonal, she looked at me. I don't know why.
No, I'll tell you why. Because the last time he was on, we mentioned that, and you and I found it very interesting.
Because I feel as though I probably am somewhere.
Yes,
no, you and I thought,
listen, I'll take it first.
We've never tested our hormone levels, and we thought that would be a very interesting thing to do.
It's certain that I'm joking with you. Stop. There's a lot of weight loss programs. You see them on TV all the time, a lot of locations. What makes Southern Nevada Bariatrics different than the rest?
Well, let me tell you, one thing I have is I have a commitment. I've made a decision a long time ago. When I was an internal medicine doctor, I would have patients come to me with all these medical issues. They have diabetes, they have high blood pressure, they are morbidly obese, they have back pain, they have knee pain. And you know what? I couldn't treat them. I could treat the symptoms, but I couldn't treat the underlying cause. And that was the commitment I made. I said, you know what? The way to treat this is to get rid of the weight and get the patient back to their normal baseline BMI. And the way to do that, and the only thing that really works, is bariatric surgery. Everything else is only temporary. The root of the cause, if you don't take care of the root of the cause, which is the morbid obesity, then all these other issues, you can treat the symptoms, but you cannot treat the diseases. And diabetes and high blood, all of those things improve absolutely with losing the weight.
It's interesting. You have worked on solving this giant puzzle for people, this weight loss puzzle.
Yes.
Because it's like, let me get all these pieces in a row so I can get this weight off. And in doing so, I would imagine you really have to approach each patient uniquely.
Absolutely, absolutely. So when a patient comes to me, I take a look at all their medical problems. For example, if a patient is a diabetic, if they are on insulin, then the recommendation would be to go more with gastric bypass, because there's all kinds of physiological things happen, and you could have the following week be not a diabetic and resolve. I mean, but you still have the same weight. And so you have to approach each patient differently. If a patient has a bad reflux or heartburn, again, doing the sleeve gastrectomy makes you worse heartburn. So I recommend gastric bypass. For majority of the people, sleeve gastrectomy is just fine. So I have to look at each patient differently. For example, patients also have other surgeries that they want to have. For example, they want to have orthopedic surgery, knee pains, hip pains, back pains, and all of those things cannot be done until you lose the weight. And once they lose the weight, then the orthopedic surgeons can fix, because your body was not designed for so much weight.
And you actually know, with your history in this, what the right fit is for each patient.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? There are patients who say, you know, there are things that I cannot do. I cannot run around with my children. I cannot tie my shoes, and so on. So you have to look at each patient. What makes that patient happy? What gives you good quality of life? That is what's really important, because at the end of the day, it's quality of life. If you can run around with your children, if you can tie your shoes, if you can go for a run, that's what really counts, and that's what life is all about, is to have a quality of life.
And not to mention, just feel good about yourself.
Exactly,
right?
exactly,
yeah,
exactly,
we all deserve that.
exactly.
It's very interesting. So with all these different approaches you have, you also offer people some great information. There are seminars people can come to learn more about this?
Absolutely. So when a patient comes to me at the office, first thing we do is we give them a seminar. We give them all the options. So they look at both the surgical and the non-surgical, and we describe what the surgeries are. We discuss what their medical issues are, and then we make a recommendation of what kind of surgery they should have. And so that is the important thing. And then in the future, the plan is to add more services as well. So we're continually growing. And that's really important. And adding cosmetic surgery is the next step once we move to our new office.
The next step. Dr. Ahmed, great to have you.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Let Southern Nevada Bariatrics help you with a free consultation. They're located on Southeastern Avenue alongside Las Vegas National Golf Course. Their phone number and website are right there on your screen. Southern Nevada Bariatrics is a proud sponsor of the Morning Blend.